Long. I don't know what I'm doing. It's on! You know, I can tell that's an old video. He doesn't make a beeline for the canoes, which is the only thing he would be running that fast for these days. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, the every now and then show in which we talk about what's going on in the world of Disney theme parks. My name is Doobie Mosley. I'm the co-founder here at Laughing Place. The person with the giant red paw is my wife, Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca?
Doing well.
Person below her, our vice president in charge of all things Southern California theme parks, Star Wars, and whatever else he finds interesting, Michael Celestino.
Hello.
And next to him, below me, is our vice president of animation and our Jeremiah fill-in when Jeremiah is high in the sky, literally, and that would be Tony Betty.
Hello.
Yeah, we couldn't have Jeremiah today. He's high. No. As in, on an
I'm
airplane.
going to get that little clip later and just save it
Coming
for
back.
all eternity.
He's on an airplane on his way home from Paris.
I'm sure that's what it feels like. So,
All right, so thanks for joining us. Thank you, Tony, for filling in. Any declarations we need to make today, Mike?
Yes, my Donald golf hat is brought to me by Roosevelt's.
Thank you, Roosevelt. And Tony?
same thing. But this time they gave me the Pixar Seersucker shirt featuring A Bug's Life. So thank you, Roosevelt's.
I want to say hi to Mickey as my spirit animal. Hi. Hey, Roofing Channel. Hi, Geo. I liked Geo's comparison. I'm gonna make sure I bring it up when we talk about the Bears later.
Since we mentioned Roosevelt's, just take a quick moment to mention, I don't know if either one of you guys, how well you know the actual Roosevelt's team. I have not met Stephen Gebhardt, who is one of the co-founders of Roosevelt's and who very unexpectedly passed away this week. So we've gotten a lot of stuff with Roosevelt's, have a great relationship with them, mainly through Becca Burbank and Jeremiah. And I know Jeremiah certainly knew Stephen. So thank you, Roosevelt's, for all you've done. Thank you, Stephen. And I know the community is going to miss you. Okay, so getting back to Disney theme parks, and thank you for all those hellos. Yeah, Country Bears, why don't we start right there? That's at Disney World. So, Tony, what's going on with those bars?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, well, thanks, Tony.
No, they gave us an update. A while back, they announced there's a new show coming to Country Bears, and then they closed earlier this year for that. And then Disney Live Entertainment gave us an update that they have costumed the Sunbonnet Sisters. Is that the correct name for them? I'm more of a Tiki Room guy.
It works. Sunbonnet works.
Sunbonnet Trio. Beulah's one of them. I know that.
Bubbles,
Beulah. I wrote the title for this too. Bubbles, Beulah, and I want to say Betty, but that's my last name. Bunny. But yeah, they got new costumes that give you an AI presentation of what a football cheerleader would look like.
Are you fond of these, Rebecca?
I am, and I agree with our very own Geo here in the chat. I saw on his Twitter that he once, like Tony says, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders kind of come to mind.
He was the one that was specific then. I remember I heard it somewhere. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah, with the star on the vest and the midriff. But I love the bubblegum pink. I'm a fan of the new tutus and cowboy hats for our maybe cowgirl hats, cowbear hats. I don't know for our for the trio. So
Now, I know they haven't released a song list. These are going to be updated with Disney songs. Did anyone? This came with an Instagram video with some really quick clips of them in action. Did anyone try to read their bare lips to see what song they were singing? See if we can get a clue.
I was trying to figure out, with all the hype surrounding animatronics everywhere, apparently, why not?
Dick.
Sorry about that.
Why not maybe spruce up the sisters a little bit? So
Oh, I thought they looked good. They
I did not
did.
know they were sisters. Is this breaking news that they're sisters, or did I?
Jeremiah popping in to say hi. Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi, Jeremiah. Where you at? Have you landed yet? Okay, please stop, Tony. Country Bear's coming this summer. No specific date has been set yet, but exciting.
I have a hunch, but I don't want to say it.
Hey, scale of like 1 to 5. How excited are you for this, Doobie? This reimagining of the Bears?
I would put it at a 4 because I love the Country Bears, and not only do I get to go see them, I get to see them do something new. So I would put it at a 4.
How about you, Tony?
I would probably say 3.5 to 4 as well.
Okay. Brian says I can't wait. Jeremiah, Mike, do you have an excitement level for the Bears, even though they're on the other coast?
I'm very glad that I got to see the old show one last time when I was down there in January. And I will be cautiously optimistic to check out the new version next time I'm down there. I'll say a 3.
One of the reasons it's so exciting is Tiana's Bayou Adventure clearly is a bigger attraction. I probably will enjoy it more, but let's be real. I'm gonna see the Bears about 100 times more than I experienced Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and so that's
unless the Bears have virtual queue, then you'll see them once a day, at best.
I hope they're popular enough to need virtual queue. That would make me so happy. Let's move on. We're going to get to more virtual queue news, which I know will make Tony so happy a little bit later in the show. But first,
there is an aspect of it that made me happy, but we'll get to that.
Me too, and I don't know if it's the same aspect. Jeremiah was in Paris. That's why he is on his way home, covering. Oh, I got the exact name of it. The Alice Show. Very good, Doobie. What was it?
It's right there on that.
It's
picture.
Alice and the Queen of Hearts back to Wonderland,
Yeah.
Which is quite a. I take notes, stupid notes. Which has an interesting. Tony, as our animation guy, why don't you talk about the look of at least
The look?
the queue in the artwork? Yes.
Do you remember the 90s?
I was there. Yeah.
I look upon the 90s fondly. As my question before our live broadcast began echoes, but this is a certain aspect of the 90s that I think is a weird interpretation for Alice in Wonderland, but it's also a weird post-apocalyptic one because everything about this stage looks like containers, shipping containers. So I don't know what was going on here, but this looks like it's fun. It looks like it's high energy, but yeah.
Wait, do you not remember the rollerblading White Rabbit?
From Adventures in Wonderland? Yes. But it wasn't spray punk graffiti and everything like that.
But this just feels like a natural evolution.
I'm not gonna lie. I was while Jeremiah was sending these videos, I was hoping he would send me some vertical ones I could share on Instagram because I was gonna use the Adventures in Wonderland theme song because it's immediately what I thought of too, Rebecca, to be completely honest with you.
100. Yeah, no, this took me back to that very quick.
It's harsh.
It's like part Alice in Wonderland, part Return to Oz, part Adventures in Wonderland,
part Tarzan Rocks.
There's BMX happening too.
Yeah, multiple parts Tarzan Rocks.
It's in French and English. It bounces back and forth between the two languages of the park. The costumes are avant-garde is what I'm going to use as the language for them because
that's fair.
They're kind of exaggerated structural design. I'm excited to see this in person.
1 week from today.
And I am I liked how All in a Golden Afternoon is there. So you have a little bit of kind of an anchor to the classic, but yet everything else is modern and new and kind of the next step. It's not a retelling of the story. It's like a new adventure in Wonderland. I'm interested to see what Doobie thinks of this stomp portion. And there's a lot of guest interaction. They get the guests, they like break you out into sections. Section 1, you sing this. Section 2, you sing that. And then at another point, there's like the clap, clap, stomping things that people do. So I'm interested to see what you think when we get to experience it, Doobie.
Yeah, me too. This is I don't try to stay spoiler free, but I haven't gone out of my way since we're going to be there literally in a week. So this is the most I've seen of it, and yeah, this is interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing myself and seeing what I think. Thank you, Jeremiah. If you want to see it for yourself, if you don't mind spoilers, this entire video, high quality, is on our YouTube channel right now. There are so many bikes. I like BMX bikes, and that kind of X Games thing, but I'm not sure I've ever really loved it in a theme park show.
Tarzan Rocks.
I know. I'm not sure how much I loved that part.
Were there BMX in Tarzan Rocks?
Oh, you know what? It may have just been rollerbladers now.
I think it might have just been rollerblades, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the stomp aspect.
Because I worked at Universal. There was a very, very short-lived seasonal BMX show from Matt Hoffman. And the amount of space they needed to do it, I feel like the Tarzan Rocks Theater didn't have.
Yeah, no, you're probably you're.
But I'm thinking about it now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great reuse of the Lights Motors Action space.
Okay, is that where it is?
Cool.
Because this is absolutely huge. I'm like, where do they have all this space to do this thing? That makes perfect sense. Hey, maybe that means it'll be. No, wait, they already reused that for Galaxy's Edge.
Part of it. A lot of it is still pavement and trees, to be honest. So.
Okay. So that is running limited time as of now, May 25th. So opens in 5 days through September 29th.
Actually, I'll have to look at my maps again.
At Disneyland Studios Park, which it's still called right now. It will be a new name at some point, but right now it's still the Studios Park in Paris. And if you want to join us, we'll be there next week. Okay, next up, over in Tokyo Disneyland, Fantasy Springs, which, oh my goodness. So as cool as that Alice thing is, Tokyo just always steals the show, don't they? Tony, why don't you get us started on Fantasy Springs?
Well, Fantasy Springs seems to be Tokyo Disneyland's new incarnation of Fantasyland. Sorry, Tokyo Disney Sea. My apologies. Tokyo Disney Sea's kind of Fantasyland answer. And oh boy, like the hotel leans very much on Art Nouveau, which makes that very pretty. But what I love most is all the rock work, which we're seeing right here. And I don't know if we have video of what happens in the actual springs, but it bubbles up. There's fountains. This one with Sorcerer Mickey's probably my favorite. It's got all the brooms in the rock, and water comes out of there. And then it's like a tidal pool, so it crashes up where Sorcerer Mickey's hands are. It's absolutely gorgeous from everything I've seen.
And we have.
You're showing
have video of that somewhere, Doobie, on our site yet?
I'm not sure if we have video.
Okay.
Video on our channel.
I can't believe these words are about to be coming out of my mouth, as my wife has heard, and she got very excited. This is the pinnacle of Frozen attractions in the world, and probably the best thing about Fantasy Springs is this Frozen attraction. It's not like Epcot's, it's not like Hong Kong's, where it's kind of an offshoot of the movie with songs from the movie. It's for lack of a better phrase, a book report of the original Frozen, but done beautifully. I can't even think of any good words to say other than this is just phenomenal. Everybody's talking about this scene.
I'm gonna hit play on this. I'm not sure I can mute it, so.
Hi, if you're wondering how we got here, it's really quite simple. It began with two sisters. One born with magical powers, one born powerless. Doors shutting everywhere, sisters torn apart.
Oh, hey, I'm Anna, and I'm Mary, a man I just met.
Elsa's gonna blow! Snow! Ah! Ice Palace for one! Ice Palace for one! Get out, Anna!
My heart.
Then Anna freezes forever. Then she unfreezes. Then Arendelle is saved from an eternal winter, and they all live happily ever after. Any questions?
So cool.
Yeah.
So that is the attraction is called Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, and as Tony said, it's rave reviews, spectacular.
I mean, if you've got me sold on it, and I'm
Right. Not Tony's favorite film of all time.
it's not a bad movie. It's just
Little
way,
overhyped.
way overhyped.
I have watched that sequence of her unfreezing so many times because it is just fascinating use of technology and artistry. Just incredible.
So that's how you are with that scene, which I also did. But more than that, they cut it off in that video. But when she freezes, that whole like scene and the fountains freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just spectacular. So that is a part of Fantasy Springs, which opens on June 6th, Tokyo Disney Sea. They also have, in that same section of Arendelle, they have, the Royal Banquet Hall, a new place to eat. But that's just one part of Fantasy Springs. They're also opening the Kingdom of Corona, which celebrates Rapunzel. And they have the Snuggly Duckling. Finally, you get to go to the Snuggly Duckling and experience that. And then they also have an attraction there.
Do the shrimp burger. Tell me what that's like. Oh, you're not. You're going to France. Never mind.
Yep, we're going to France. Sorry.
I guess have a shrimp burger there, but I don't know where.
So, as I said, they are opening up a Kingdom of Corona, celebrating Rapunzel. They will have the Snuggly Duckling there. Oh, look, she's up there. See
Yeah,
that?
it's an animatronic on, so it's on the ride, but you can see it from off of the ride.
Off the ride.
They could've put
Rapunzel's
one of those in Disney World.
Lantern Festival.
Yes, Rapunzel's Lantern Festival. So they are opening up two new dark rides, two new boat dark rides. There.
Oh, 2 boat rides. Yes, there are 4 rides total. 3 of them, by definition, are boat rides or dark rides. Excuse me.
They're also opening up a Neverland attraction, a Neverland section with Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, and then the 4th attraction will be Wandering Oaken back in Arendelle. Is that correct?
No, it's Fairy Tinkerbell's Ride 'em Buggies.
Oh no!
Which has a hard Heimlich's choo-choo train energy, but you're in a little buggy and you go through a little garden. Yep.
As Brian points out, it's a chance to dive into the world of Corona, Arendelle, Neverland. So it's like stepping into those classic movies.
But yeah, so I could already tell you now, Tiana is going to be highly compared to all of these because they're opening in the same time frame. And
yes,
will it live up?
It'll be very, very interesting to see.
It's not a fair comparison. Tokyo just does things so far and away. Their Beauty and the Beast is so far and away. It's like it's not, and Disney doesn't own them. It's not. You can't compare. You can't compare.
Hi, Steven.
Isn't it like a 51% to 49% ownership stake?
I don't know.
Either way, somebody else is footing the bill, which is why it happens.
That's the key. All right, real quick. Bob Iger was doing a Q&A at a Media and Communications Summit recently, and to everyone's surprise, he talked about how important IP is in the theme parks. And he said, for quite a long time, new attractions and lands at the parks were based on essentially either very old IP or no IP. And starting really with Cars Land and Toy Story and a few others, we decided that almost all of our investment in the parks in terms of attractions and lands would be using that IP, and it's very, very clear that it's delivered. So I know not everyone is a fan of having IP everywhere in the parks, but apparently Bob Iger is, and it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. You okay with that, Tony?
I used to do a thing. I don't know if it would still hold weight anymore, but when people be like, oh, I love that they're doing Toy Story Land. Oh, I love that they're doing Avatar Land. I would say, what's your favorite ride at a Disney park? And 9.8 times out of 10, I would get Space Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean. And you can't say that because it was the ride first. Jungle Cruise, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And anything that was said was typically nothing character-based or IP-based. California Screaming.
Indiana Jones Adventure.
As a theme park fan, Celestino, and a fan of the movies, how does this kind of comment grab you when Iger says we're going to lean into our IP? Because I'm sure there's many movies and whatnot you'd love to experience in the parks, but I also expect that you have enjoyed. I know Mansion being a favorite of, I believe Mansion to be a favorite of yours. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but yeah. So how's this grab you as a theme park goer?
Yeah, of course. I love all the ones that Tony listed there as well. And it doesn't surprise me that he said that. And I think we could have guessed that that would be his stance. You know, we've even had lands here in California that were not IP based and became IP based, like Paradise Pier becoming Pixar Pier. So it's not really it's not a surprise to hear that. But I was trying to think of like what was the last major attraction built that did not have an IP? Would it have been like Test Track?
Expedition Everest, I believe, is.
Everest.
I did this before, and I think it was
Okay.
Expedition Everest.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you it this way. I know you're a big fan of Rise of Resistance, right?
Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So imagine that attraction being just as amazing as it is, but instead of being built upon Star Wars, it was built upon some completely new concept. Would you rather have that?
I wouldn't say rather, but in a way, I think it might even be more impressive if they came up with it out of whole cloth. Because you are kind of relying on existing characters, and they did come up with a new locale for the parks, the Planet Batu. So
That's true.
that's there are elements of newness in with the existing
Excellent point.
properties. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't make me unhappy really, but I think it would be nice if they did a mix of both, I guess.
That's where, yeah, because you could take a new Star Wars ride and throw it in Tomorrowland, because that's kind of the catch-all for that genre. Same thing with Adventureland, same thing with Frontierland. And even back in the day, everything was almost a little tied to something or inspired by, like Jungle Cruise was inspired by True Life Adventures, that sort of thing. But to basically make everything Fantasyland, where everything can be its own thing.
It's what's interesting to me is the connection between IP and attraction. For in that I've never seen Avatar. I love Flight of Passage. I still haven't seen Avatar. And I hear lots of people when I'm there at Animal Kingdom talking about how they haven't seen Avatar, and they get off the attraction, and I wonder how many of them actually go see Avatar,
Right.
even though, I mean, it's on my TV. I could just push play, but I still haven't bothered to.
Avatar, I think, is actually a good example because I agree with you. And one of my favorite movie podcasts, one of their ongoing things is Avatar being the single most popular movie of all time, really left no cultural impact. No one walks around talking about the culture of Avatar like they do for so many other things. And I think that land without the Avatar attachment would be at least as popular as it is right now.
I always point out, or what back when they announced it, I would always point out, name one character from the Avatar movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Avatar. And that's
Yeah.
not actually a character.
And that's not even, yeah. I think Avatar works especially because you have a familiar-ish setting, but it's set so far away from the movies, because it's 70, 80 years in the future or something like that.
Okay.
So everything is different. So it can be its own thing in that same realm. And I think they tried that with Batu, but they also locked it into one specific time frame. So you can't mix and match incorporated things. And Mike, we could probably talk about this for hours at length. But yeah. And then not a lot of people got that because Star Wars is so recognizable, whereas Avatar, like I just said, name a character. The one thing recognizable in Batu is the Millennium Falcon. So along with details that diehards would know, like the pod racing engine at not Doc Ondar's, the restaurant.
Bronto Roaster.
Bronto Roasters, thank you.
I know that Geo's tossing these out as kind of a joke, the Black Cauldron attraction or the Herbie the Love Bug. But is there an existing Disney IP? I know Iger said modern,
Yep.
current. But is there a Disney IP that you feel is kind of just sitting on the shelf waiting to be used in a park? Doobie, you raised your hand.
I raised my hand. Yes. I mean, it is in a park, to be fair, in Tokyo, but it is a crime that there is no major Beauty and the Beast attraction in North America.
That's true.
Just a restaurant. Yeah.
Just a restaurant and a walkthrough with a cool door that took 5 years.
How about
I think 4 years.
Anything jump out at you, Mike? Or I'll let Mike answer first because he was nodding his head like he had something in mind.
Yeah, I would say now that Disney is reinvesting in the Alien franchise with a new movie and a new TV series, and now that the Alien segment is gone from the Great Movie Ride, in addition to the entire attraction, I think it would be awesome if they built an Alien attraction, like we don't. I don't know. We don't have enough horror, and this is Rebecca's brain is exploding as I'm saying this. We don't have enough horror in Disney parks, in my opinion. Would absolutely love
horror in Disney parks in Rebecca's
really terrifying alien ride. I think would be amazing.
Like an encounter with aliens, right?
An alien encounter of some sort.
Yes.
This is Mike. Mike's like, when I grow up, I want to write for a Disney fan site so I can cover the horror beat. All this stuff.
You know, the actual original Alien encounter was going to be based on Alien, right?
Yes, I think we talked about this on the show.
Yeah.
On Who's the Boss?
It was the original title was Nostromo, because you're supposed to be going onto the ship, and then it evolved into what it became on the convention center and everything like that. But moving on.
And
I want it to be a ride through, though, as they call them now.
And I still stand by my no horror in my Disney, please.
No.
Tony, what about you?
Oh, the list goes on. All the ones I wanted are obviously not box office hits, but I feel like there is, especially decades later, fan outcry for more representation of these films, and that would obviously be like Atlantis and Treasure Planet and those ones. But I actually, going back to Avatar Land, I was with a friend of mine once, and I went beat by beat how the whole of Flight of Passage could be an Atlantis attraction.
I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah,
and even
because the
lampposts,
it started because the lampposts on the pathway look like what they used for lighting in the Atlantis film when they're in Atlantis. Name some. Go.
Milo.
Okay.
That's one more than I can do for Avatar.
That's Milo, Princess Kida, Mole,
Rosie. What's her name? Rosie? No, her name's not Rosie.
She looks kind of like Rosie the Riveter, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna drive me
submarine
crazy.
itself is essentially a character.
I'm gonna have to Google
the
it.
The Leviathan is another one.
I can't remember.
Michael J. Fox.
That was Milo. You said
that was Milo. You already named him. Leonard Nimoy.
Thatch. Was it the Thatch guy?
Milo James Thatch was his full name, and then his grandfather.
I got Milo 3 ways.
Yep.
And Otis.
Otis.
Oh, Milo and Otis.
Oh,
gotcha.
Got it.
Terrible.
Great movie though. Really.
Well, now we have to indicate at the end of the show that no animals were harmed in the making of this live stream.
Okay, let's get to the Disneyland Resort, but not Mike, but Rebecca. What did you get to do last week, Rebecca?
I took a couple of their guided tours. These are around 2 hours long, and you get to walk the Disneyland Resort, learn a little bit more about its history. One of the ones I took is called Cultivating the Magic. This one focuses on the landscaping. So you learn a lot about the choices that were made in the earliest days of Disneyland as they set about transforming those orange groves into Frontierland and Adventureland and Tomorrowland. And then the way that Tomorrowland has changed and now focuses on sustainability. And it was a beautiful tour. The storytelling of the guides is phenomenal. You have a little earpiece so that you can easily hear them above the kind of the sounds of the park. It's paced nicely. And you get a little giveaway at the end. Now, the Cultivating the Magic tour, they took my address and said they didn't have the item and I would receive it in the mail. So I don't know what it is. We'll find out later. But it's a beautiful, the way that the tour is described, I was expecting something a little bit drier and nitty grittier about kind of the realities of gardening. I was thankful it wasn't that, and that it was much more about things like the choices that were made. Like here, the fact that Adventureland is on the west side of the park because there was this grove of eucalyptus trees that were a windbreak for the the orange grove, and so it's just a natural disguise of Main Street. And so, oh hey, okay, we've already got kind of this foundational element of the eucalyptus trees, and so we'll put Adventureland over here instead. You know, things like that. They also showcased some specific trees around the resort that are particularly noteworthy or endangered species or unique stories to them. So it was a lot of fun, brought to light aspects of Disneyland's history that, you know, I was unfamiliar with. In some cases, you know, kind of got a refresher on. It ends under the Dreaming Tree of Toontown, and, you know, just kind of once again kind of brings back that focus of landscaping within the story of Disneyland, as Walt used to sketch under the tree and tell stories to his sister Ruth. You know, it's sweet. The other tour that I took was about the Disneyland Railroad, and our guide, Sean, quite knowledgeable as well. The other tour guide, Tiana, very knowledgeable. She was a storybook host before she moved into this, and you can really feel that kind of storybook hostess within her delivery. It was a lot of fun. But
did she climb onto a pedestal and just kind of cross her legs and tell you what's going on?
Totally envision that. But Sean, really, his passion for the parks and the Disney history, so many names of Disney Imagineers and legends, those you've seen on the windows of Main Street. You learn more about how they ended up with their name on the windows of Main Street, all within this context of the railroad. And while I knew Walt loved trains, and I know about the, you know, the story of his backyard railroad and those types of things, I didn't realize just how many little threads of time, if you pull on them within Disney history, are somehow connected back to a train. Weird happenstances of connecting with individuals who also had a railroad passion, and then those people ending up being parts of Disneyland, or being, you know, or the connections that he had with Imagineers or animators because of the trains. Just over and over again, kind of this reality of the connection to his love of trains popped up from just the fact that he arrived at his opening day special on board a train, which I hadn't really, you know, just sat and thought about. But oh yeah, of course. By the way, that right there that Doobie was showing, that's the amazing gift that came at the end of this tour. It's a replica of that map that hangs on the wall in the Main Street train station as seen now. They took great care to adapt it with Galaxy's Edge within the map, but still keeping that same design that the map had before. So really beautiful, nice and large. It's a beautiful keepsake from the tour. But that combined with the Lily Bell, if nothing else on the tour appeals to you, obviously those two items right there are, you know, this is your way to get them. Riding the Lily Bell was amazing. It's that beautiful presidential rail car that you see that's kind of a caboose to the train that you see riding around. It's been restored. The design elements were chosen by Lily and Disney, so they are reminiscent of Walt's apartment that I know Mike has seen. There was something transformative of sitting in that railway car and viewing Disneyland through. Okay, so it's a closed car, so the sounds are a bit muted than they usually are. So it's a little bit more refined experience than, you know, the huffing and puffing of a railroad. And then you add to that the beautiful framing of these fringed curtains looking out on the rivers of America and stuff. It was like stepping into a little time machine. And I kept finding myself kind of mentally switching between what I was seeing and those images I've seen of Disneyland in the past. So I had such a great time. And I'm nodding for Doobie because totally.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. I was gonna pull up one that I had over here.
To go to the Lily Bell thing, one of the cool things too, is you don't sit like facing forward or facing sideways. Like you can sit at like a table or the couch and just kind of,
It's so pretty. No, it was really beautiful. They didn't allow video, which is just as well because I want everybody to go take this tour. So that's one of the hard parts for me when I write up a tour like this for the website, is I want to give you enough information that you're like, oh, that sounds cool, I want to take it. But yet I don't want to give so much information. It's like, nah, I know what I know. I'm good. So
Does the poster light up and show you where the train is?
Pardon me?
Does
got
the
a cell
poster light up
connection in
and show
there.
you what the train is? Yeah.
The one disappointment for me was that the description of the tour said that you're going to get a rare glimpse of the Roundhouse, and they literally walked us backstage by that Agri-Future billboard, and we stood there. Eddie talked to us about the Roundhouse, and so I was kind of like, this is the same view I see every time I'm on the train. So I'm not exactly sure how this is a rare glimpse.
You got a glimpse from a different angle.
Maybe it was a longer glimpse. I wouldn't even say it was from a different angle. I would say it was a longer glimpse. So honestly, that took me by surprise. I kind of expected something else based on the description, but as a whole, the railroad tour and the cultivation tour, even though I have been reading about and going to Disneyland, for many years now.
What else did they say about the Lily Bell? It's like history in terms of how people can visit it.
I'm not sure what I'm understanding what you're asking.
Okay. So back in the day, and by that I mean like 2009, 2010, I was told it was for Club 33 members. Before that, it was like invites only. And then I was told it was only via the tour that you're doing.
A long time ago, as I recall, there was a way to get it as a regular guest.
Yeah, that too.
So, yeah. So they didn't speak much to the access, as I recall.
Okay.
Mostly they focused on the kind of the fact of Lillian's role within the design, the fact that it wasn't used as much for a while because of the lack of air conditioning, so it can get quite stuffy in there on a hot summer day, which is when I've been in the Lily Bell before, and that was a hot stuffy day, and I can say yes, that is true. It can be hot and stuffy. So
I know there are times they don't run it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's one of the things that's listed in the tour. It does say based on availability, kind of like based on availability. It doesn't seem to be a guarantee that you're going to be aboard the Lily Bell, which to me would be very disappointing, because that definitely is the highlight. And clearly everybody on my tour, that is why it felt like that is why they booked the tour. They wanted to ride the Lily Bell.
Did you mention, I'm sorry, I was getting pictures. Did you mention the ride that you get on for the Cultivating the Magic tour?
I don't think I did. For Cultivating the Magic, you ride the Jungle Cruise. And it's really fun because usually the Jungle Cruise, the skipper goes, I'm going to show you some of my, some of the plants along. There's one. This time she actually told us varying species and stories of why certain things were chosen, and just the reality of the difference in horticulture choices here versus other parts of the park where it's much more, structured and organized. This is very natural. So, yeah.
Mickey is my spirit animal asked about pricing, so I'm not 100% sure these prices don't change at all, but at least on the Disneyland.com website, Cultivating the Magic is listed as $110 for ages 3 and up for a 2-hour tour, and the Railroad Tour is $135 ages 3 and up, also for a 2-hour tour. Park admission, reservation required.
The Cultivating the Magic includes the ride on the Jungle Cruise and a takeaway. And the Railroad Tour is the Lily Bell, that brief backstage moment, and the poster. And we started off with a delightful apple cinnamon pastry and an orange juice before we started on our tour. So,
nice. And if I'm not mistaken, along with the pastry and the orange juice, you got a bottle of Purell. So that's not bad at all.
Yes, it was delightful. Yes.
Is that in the Lincoln lobby?
Yes, that's where they had us, because it's currently closed for refurbishment. But that was the first day of them having you meet there, and I don't know if that's going to continue or if they were just testing out a vibe. So yeah, so that's where they had us. It was nice because it was a little chillier outside, so I didn't mind being indoors. But
I just like testing out a vibe.
I know. Click that one. That's our first T-shirt.
Testing out a vibe. By the way, you want to talk about a vibe before we move on? Let me just share. Oh, mine. I want to share mine. This is a vibe. It's a dark chocolate cold brew with butterscotch topping, and you get it. It's so tasty, and it comes with this little cookie straw kind of thing. It's so yummy. And then you just sit back and relax in the Fantasyland Theater and enjoy the beautiful Pixar shorts. That's a vibe. And then they interrupt it with this big party where everybody jumps up and down and screams and stuff. But in between,
What is that a Cars tune? Is that what the short is? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, before that was lava.
One of the Vaders then. Okay.
Before that it was they showed lava. Before that it was some other Pixar short. But yeah, no, it's delightful. So there's my vibe of the day.
Rebecca's got a
keyword now.
Rebecca has a recap of the cultivating tour up already. She will have the railroad tour up shortly. So there you have it. Let's continue to Disneyland. And Mike Celestino, I believe you took a selfie Instagram here, if I'm not mistaken. Is that your doing, Mike?
I shot the video. I did not put together the Instagram.
That's the important part. So what is this?
This is a new statue of Big Al. Is that right?
Yes.
From the old Country Bear Jamboree. And he has appeared without much explanation by the Disney Vacation Club kiosk at Disney California Adventure over by the Grizzly River Run attraction. I spent like 10-15 minutes hanging around there, and a lot of people were very excited to see it and take their photos with it. So it's getting a good response, and then it also will react to your magic band if you wave it in front of it and play a variety of musical stings.
If I had thought about it, I would have prepped the raw video, because Mike waving frantically with his magic band to get it work was a true highlight. I know it happened on our live stream, so if you go back and watch the live stream when that happened. But...
Oh, we need that. This is called, and no reason was given. It just appeared one day.
That is my understanding. And they've also moved the lockers that used to be here up the path a bit. That's all the information I have.
Yeah, the internet is rampant with speculation of what that could mean. I think the most likely is because of the new cabins at Fort Wilderness at Walt Disney World being DVC.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking you got to spend the budget so you don't lose it next year. And that's why this.
Is there a statue? Is there a DVC statue budget?
Everyone's got a budget.
By the way, speaking of DVC, are we going to briefly touch on the fact that we've got some coverage happening right now from the DVC member cruise?
Yeah, we do. Why don't you briefly talk about that?
So if you wonder what happens on a Disney Vacation Club member cruise, check it out. Well, we have links below, but you can also find it linked off our front page. Let me not share that one. Let me share my screen. Ta-da! So yeah. Right off the front page, you see that link up there. It says DVC Member Cruise 2024. We've got some photos of the adventures happening on board the Disney Vacation.
That thing's a low-level D23 event for DVC members.
Oh, they're really fun.
Yeah.
Every time we hear more about them, I'm like, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. In fact, this latest cruise, if you are around Laughing Place very much, you know that Doobie is incredibly fond of the Disney Vacation Club song "Where We Belong."
Do not play it.
And we I had it sitting here to play, but since Tony's here, I decided not to. We received reports that some of the Broadway stars aboard the ship for the DVC cruise actually broke out in this tune at some point during the cruise, accompanied on tambourine by Don Hahn. So yeah,
his greatest work
there you
ever.
go.
I mean,
Don Hahn, film producer, for the record, not just a random guy named Don Hahn.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
This member cruise, by the way, is in the Mediterranean.
Disney legend Don Hahn.
Disney DVC cruises are awesome enough. This one being in the Mediterranean makes it even more awesome.
Yep.
The stops they undoubtedly have. But yeah, all that got pushed to the side because the highlight is having the best voices in the world singing the best Disney song of all time, the DVC song. And considering the audience, a bunch of DVC members, you know they were vibing. You know it was a spectacular experience, and I'm a little sad I missed it.
So I have a question about these DVC cruises. If it's full of DVC members, who do they talk about their DVC membership to?
There's always family.
We're gonna get dinged. Why do we keep doing this?
All right, there's the song. You can go find it on YouTube. Prepare yourself. It does not get any better than that. And I am being sincere, unlike these meanies over here.
I personally like the Cruise Line 25th anniversary song better.
Shimmering Seas.
Yeah, they came out within like a month of each other, if I remember right, and that one's substantially better.
That one is slightly worse. All right, staying on the West Coast. This is a Mike thing, but it's also a Tony thing.
My name is literally on the screen.
I founded this company, Tony. Have some respect. Have some respect. I'm old. Have some respect. Respect your elders. All right, you actually got to preview this on when you opened up this hotel, right, Rebecca? The Creators Club Lounge.
Yes, I did. Did you guys get to go there too? Have you guys been there?
No.
No, it wasn't open for you guys. It's really cool. They take like various elements of Pixar that you find within the theme parks and have the maquettes or little, replicas or ride vehicle kind of representation within the Creators Club. But this is their concierge lounge, and yeah, there you go. It's the concierge lounge called the Creator. What's it called? Creator Studio?
Creators Club.
Creators Club. Thank you.
And, so when this hotel opened, 3 months ago now, it definitely was not done. Some things were not ready, including all the rooms. So what's so funny?
Because it's right. You're right. It definitely was not done.
Okay, so the club level lounge, the concierge lounge, is opening on May 24th. So it's almost here. You can look at it here. Rebecca, like I said, got to preview it when the hotel did open. So we have a lot more pictures from back then on our website. Another thing that was not open at the time, but has now opened as of 10 days ago, the Small Bites pool bar, essentially, which we were able to look at before, but now is actually opening and serving food and drink for your enjoyment if you are staying at this hotel. Bites with a Y, because it's Pixar. Get it? And then the coolest thing they announced, are you being sent to cover all of these, Tony, for LP? The speakers series at Pixar?
Nope.
Fest at the place? No, yeah. I'm not, tough thing. So, does it sound good to you?
Yeah? Are you going to talk about it?
I'll let you talk about it.
Well, Pixar Place Hotel is actually doing something that I think is really cool. And they're holding a speaker series for the hotel guests where they could sit and talk and listen, or listen to rather, because I don't know if they're going to be one-on-one conversations with folks from Pixar. And they announced the first three, which I believe are, his name just completely flew out of my head. Peter Sohn, thank you, director of Elemental and The Good Dinosaur. He will be hopefully more known for Elemental than anything. And then Roger Gould, which I think is kind of an interesting choice. And then the film editor of Inside Out 2, who's an M name, but I'm terrible with M names.
Marissa.
Is it Marissa?
Marissa.
Yeah, Marissa Horowitz.
Yeah, Horowitz. Yeah. Thank you.
And then Roger Gould, as you said, he's the creative director, theme parks of Pixar Animation.
Right.
Studios.
So basically, he works with Imagineering as a principal advisor to make sure everything's true to what it should be.
And Tony and I saw him waiting for his valet.
Yes, it's true, because I kept pointing out, like, hey, I was like, oh, that's Roger Gould. I think, did you ask who? Or I've seen him or something like that. I don't remember.
I think I had recognized him from
okay
previous events.
And then we kept seeing him. He like kept popping up like a very horrible Bigfoot. And I say that because he can't stay hidden. And he was like, oh,
he's bad at being a Bigfoot.
It's
not bad at being a Pixar employee.
Yes.
By the way, if you want to book the Pixar Place Hotel, or if you want more information about the Pixar Place Hotel, reach out to our friends at Mouseband Travel. They are fantastic travel planners and can answer your questions about the location, whether or not it's a good fit for your family needs, or as you plan your Disneyland vacation.
I should get the link too, but if you want more information about Marissa Horowitz, be sure to read a recently posted article on laughingplace.com about the women behind Inside Out 2.
There you go.
Awesome. I was going to say, if you wanted to go even deeper on the Pixar Place Hotel and some of the tinier Pixar details, I believe Tony Betty wrote an article on that for Laughing Place as well.
It's part of the Pixar Fan Fest thing I did, but yeah.
Okay.
Pixar Fest for fans.
Pixar Fest, not just the hotel. So my mistake. I got that
Yep.
wrong. But if you're a Pixar fan, it's still a good place to go.
I did talk about the Pixar Place Hotel in that one, but yes.
I stand corrected yet again from you, Tony.
It happens.
Let's see. Next up, let's get back to Disney World. Tiana's Bayou Adventure has opening date of June 28th, which means previews galore are coming up. And they've also announced how you will be accessing it. Now, Tony, who has opinions, what do you think of the fact that it will be accessible two ways they have announced, either via a virtual queue or Genie Plus, not individual lightning lane like Cosmic Rewind and other attractions have, but simply Genie Plus. So no
I
standby
overlooked
line.
that. I overlooked
Yes.
that part. I thought it was going to be an individual lightning lane.
No, it's just Genie Plus. So you cannot just
I mean-
stand by it, but you can Genie Plus it or virtual queue it.
Wait, say that last part again?
It does not have just a standby line where you just walk up and stand by.
Okay. I thought you said that it did, and that's why I got
No, sorry.
confused. No, I am about as surprised as nobody. So that it's going to be virtual queue. What I want to know is if that means Tron will no longer have a virtual queue.
Mm-hmm.
But also there was a little bit of a blurb that I feel like a lot of people overlooked. Basically said we anticipate this to be a short time, and a regular standby line will be offered
Oh, good.
after the first few weeks or months.
That's a pretty high capacity attraction, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so one would hope they can get through.
Back when they knew how to make them.
Get over the hump and then get this back to just being a regular queue plus a Genie Plus and maybe even an individual lightning lane. I'm okay with that too.
But on this particular on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, there's probably going to be 4 of those little humps.
Are you sure it's not 5?
No, it's 3 and 1 big one. So
Gio says, yes, temporary virtual queue, believe it when I see it.
I agree with that because they say it now, but we'll say due to guest demand and popularity, we're keeping this.
Did it with the accent. The logo has appeared on DisneyWorld.com, which is kind of fun. I know, all the little things that need to happen before an attraction opens, it's fun to watch them happening now. So you can see the actual logo on DisneyWorld.com, I'm pretty sure. And there it is. Being June 28th, they have announced pass holder previews from June 12th through June 20th. How do pass holders get those, Tony?
They have to make So actually, no, it's different. It's they have to make reservations for Magic Kingdom to get the 7:00 a.m. drop, or they could have a park reservation for any other park, the same on those days, and then they can be considered for the 1:00 lottery. I'm sorry, virtual queue drop.
So it's just like a virtual queue for annual pass holders only.
Yes, on those pass holder dates.
June 12th through 20th. There's
Yep.
also a gold member D23 event, which is on June 22nd, which is unfortunately sold out already. Fortunate if you got one, but for $60, which sounds like a pretty cool event. There, of course, will be food and merchandise, beignets. They did say the merchandise will be available at the Emporium.
What was the food?
Beignet?
Beignets. Okay, I heard beignets.
I probably did say beignets. There's a G in there somewhere. An N and a G in there.
And by the way, if any of these dates are news to you, that you're not following Laughing Place, because we've been reporting these events as they've been announced, and you could have picked up a spot. So you have to follow us on Twitter or stay tuned to the laughingplace.com, because we are constantly updating the site with news and information from around the universe of Disney, including the parks And you can bookmark the park specific page if you are only interested in park news.
I do think.
And those Magic
Disney-
Kingdom ones went out quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very smart. Disney has said the merchandise on June 28th will be available at the Emporium, and then once the hubbub dies down, it will move to the Critter Co-op back at Frontierland. Yes, Tony?
I'm trying to wonder because Big Thunder Mountain has an oncoming refurbishment, so it makes me anticipate that they might be closing off that whole area just to virtual queue holders.
Oh, wow. Interesting thought.
If it's going to have it in the Emporium.
Well, yeah, maybe, like I said, the Emporium is very short term.
Oh, but the train is still there.
Yeah, they just want to,
Okay.
because everyone wants that opening day merchandise, make sure they get it. So put it up front, and then later on move it back to the Critter.
And geo pointing at the beignets are in Fantasyland's Friars Nook. So, once again, not seeking to pull any more traffic over there. Enjoy your attraction. Go over there and get your beignets.
Yes.
By the way, I saw Tiana on board the Mark Twain when I was at Disneyland. She was dressed for the weather in a beautiful green coat. It was pretty.
That is her outfit. The Golden Oak Outpost as well. So if you're in Frontierland, you can get it there. But also, good point.
Does that still have the really odd hours of like 11 to 3?
Can
you still get McDonald's fries there?
No. They're getting rid of dinosaur. There's no way there's McDonald's around.
Do me in a time machine.
I know.
Somebody pointed out online that once Dinoland closes for the hypothetical tropical Americas, the original Animal Kingdom logo will be missing 2 of its 5 animals.
Oh, that's so true. Wow. And yes, Golden Oak still has the amazing hours of 12 to 5.
Okay.
Let's see. Annual pass holder days start in 8 days, and from then until May 28th through June 26th, they've announced a 20% discount at tons and tons of restaurants at all 4 parks and the hotels. So that's kind of fun. What's so funny now?
I can't. Go ahead.
Okay. Cirque du Soleil. This is the discount portion of the show. Cirque du Soleil offering 25% off for purchases by May 28th for performances through July 7th, categories 1 through 4. Let's see. The Disneyland Union, that's nothing to do with discounts, but the Equity Union, they voted on May 18th to unionize. I'm sorry, the Entertainment Department has voted to unionize with the Equity Union. So we'll see. I mean, it seems like it will happen, but it's still a few formalities that have to be gone through. But ultimately, it looks like the entertainment cast at Disneyland will be unionized, as they already are at Disney World, and as most cast members already are at Disneyland. So it does not seem to be too contentious a thing from what I've been reading. What else? Let me see what this is. Fantasmic dining packages. Have you ever done a Fantasmic dining package, Mike?
Ask me again 4 days from now.
Oh, right.
Juby, have you ever done a Fantasmic dining package?
I have not done a Fantasmic dining package back in the day when they had Fantasmic dessert up on the. When have I done a Fantasmic dining package? I've done the dessert thing. No, you haven't. Tell me more, because I don't remember. Maybe share with me.
We sat in New Orleans Square, kind of towards that left side, in little chambers. It's okay.
Not at Riverbell.
No. We ate somewhere, and then our seats were kind of that tower that's towards the far left side.
No,
but, okay, but we did.
I've done them.
Yeah, we have
right.
a kitchen.
Okay, Tony, what are they then?
You eat at a restaurant. In my case, it was the Blue Bayou, and then you get a ticket, an old school paper fast pass ticket, to get. In that case, for Blue Bayou, basically dead center front seating.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but they give you a cushion because you're gonna be on the ground.
Yeah. Way back in the day, we used to do the buffet, the dessert buffet that was up at the Disney Gallery balcony. That was nice.
Private room.
To date, when I did it.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
When we did ours, that would have said a 4, not a 6.
I know, right? 45. Oh no, 40. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Fantasmic dining packages, as I mentioned, they've announced 2 new locations, the Riverbell Terrace and Rancho del Zocalo. The Rancho menu, by the way, looks pretty good. It's not like you just walk up and get a burrito. That's some good-looking stuff. There are 2 types. There's the standard and the where you view it from the restaurant, and then the premium where they have a special location for you. So Riverbell, they have both available. Rancho del Zocalo is the standard. So you'll be viewing it from Del Zocalo. Mike, what are you doing?
That's a tough view from Rancho del Zocalo.
I was thinking the same thing.
There's a petrified tree in the way at the one spot.
But I get the idea of enjoying a nice meal kind of over there in the.
Maybe with the new Fantasmic without the dragon, that actually gives you a perfect view of the grand finale or something. Who knows? So
we are eating at Rancho del Zocalo, as I call it, probably mispronouncing it, but
I used to say that until I saw something recently that it said Zocalo. I was like,
okay.
Oh, that's. I mean, I still call it Zorro Tacos, to be fair, but
fair enough. But then we're going over to the riverside where we have our reserved space.
By the riverside. Cool. Is that for LP? Will you be reporting on that?
Yes, this is for the old LP.
Wait, you guys, it's a reserved seating area. You eat your meal and then you go to a reserved seating area.
So what I read says the standard package includes viewing from the restaurant, while the premium package admits you to a separate reserved viewing location. And
is that only for
Zocalo is the
Riverbell
standard
Terrace? Because I
package.
feel like the other restaurants don't have a view.
Yeah, Riverbell Terrace makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for the other one.
Okay, maybe. Okay, well, this is worth investigating. But I know what I read.
I've apparently done it
Riverbell,
twice.
Juby, you're correct. Riverbell standard package includes viewing from the restaurant. Del Zocalo, it says the standard package you feed on a cuisine and then you'll receive a voucher admitting you to a separate reserved viewing location.
Thank you so much. I read incomplete.
Yes. So there's the standard and premium at Riverbell, but Del Zocalo only has the standard, and in that case, the standard
It's
includes
actually a premium.
separate. Yeah, I would have gone with premium description for that since it doesn't move you to a different location. But yes. So
Okay, thank you so much for correcting.
no,
me.
you're very welcome.
Because
I was a little
I've
bit
sat at Del
confused
Zocalo.
by
You
that.
can't see the river. It ain't the best view in the world.
You could probably see the tops of things going by.
By the way, but I'm still thinking I'd go sit over there and enjoy the show in the background while I'm eating a meal. What can I say? I guess I'm an easy target.
Can you try those potato tacos while you're there, Mike? I'm curious. Those sound really good.
Potato tacos.
You probably can't. I'm sorry.
I'm waiting to hear back right now, actually, to see what's gluten-free available for the dining package. So
Mickey's
I will
Mr.
keep you
Animal
posted.
did not get a cushion. That's pretty sad. So maybe Tony can send you his. I don't think he's using it anymore.
Now I hope I get.
Actually, I
cushion.
literally just moved it onto my office chair, and they actually feel great on the office chair.
Oh yeah, no, they were great. I don't think they do the seat cushion thing anymore. That was like a fad of a different era. I can't
Almost
remember the
10
last
years
time
ago.
I saw anything giving away a seat cushion.
Right, real quick, down in Paris again, where Storybook Land is undergoing a refurb. I only mentioned this Storybook Land? I don't know. Looks like Storybook Land. I only mention this because this is the reason we're not going to get to see it when we're there, and I'm kind of sad about that. But we do have pictures of that refurbishment up on our website right now. And most importantly, second most importantly, have you been to DreamWorks Land yet, Tony?
I actually walked. So they took the walls down, and I actually walked alongside it to go and wait in ET's line for 5 minutes. That didn't move at all. Then we left. But it was during team member preview, so we weren't able to go into it.
So the walls have come down, as Tony said. It does open up on June 14th. And what does this replace again? What was the name of the land?
That specifically replaced the day at the Curious George's splash pad area.
But what was the name of the entire area?
Oh, Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone.
Okay. So this is at Universal Studios, Florida, over by the aforementioned E.T. which has nothing in common with the dream ride of Michael Celestino. All right, you also got to go to. He wants an alien ride. E.T.'s an alien, but
I see.
E.T.'s a feel-good alien ride. Mike wants people to die.
Well, E.T. is actually a good fit for DreamWorks Land.
Is it?
Yeah, because DreamWorks SKG, the S is Spielberg.
Thank you, Tony.
So just throwing that out there.
You know what would be cool though? Alien versus E.T. The movie.
That'd be a very short movie.
E.T.'s got powers though, man. He can like levitate stuff
All right.
with his finger.
With his magic healing touch.
Healing factor also, like
Yep.
Wolverine.
And he can
Okay,
connect to the
Tony.
humans on board the ship. So
Hey, speaking of Wolverine, they've got some limited edition Wolverine Deadpool flavors at freestyle machines at AMC theaters that are really tasty. I'm tossing it out there.
who said Wolverine?
Who did?
I did.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I missed that. I heard
He
delay.
did.
I didn't hear it either. Speaking of burritos, E.T. can fight when he's not drunk.
Also true.
Oh, that's right.
Also
that's right.
true.
Oh, does he get drunk?
Movie.
Yeah.
He does get drunk.
You've seen the movie, Rebecca.
Just once.
We saw it in theaters together with a little.
When you saw it, were there a lot of walkie-talkies being held?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just mention that, I grew up on E.T. It came out when I was 2 years old, and a beloved movie of mine. And my wife, Tori, despises E.T. with all of her heart. Like, she just thinks he's disgusting and doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yep.
That's painful.
You know what I have to say about that?
I do not understand.
Ouch. That's all.
I do not understand the beloved nature of E.T. Yep. Nope.
Had to be there. Had to be there. E.T. may be the first time I cried at a movie. It's touching. Maybe it's because I too had no father.
I laugh.
All right, Tony. Gatorland.
Pull up our Instagram page.
All right.
So Gatorland last weekend celebrated their 75th year in existence, making
Woohoo!
it Central Florida's oldest theme park. I kind of talked about this. We don't know if that means actual theme park or because they were a conservancy, or not a conservancy, but like an animal exhibit beforehand before they like kept expanding. I don't know. But 75 years. And I was there for a little bit of a kickoff event, but it got pretty stormy there.
Oh, that's
Jurassic 4 coming your way.
That is Jurassic 7, I think. But
The way they're
Yeah.
moving makes me think they are animatronic.
they
although
are
I know
not.
they're not.
They are very much not. So it got stormy. So on our YouTube, there's what they call the Florida Man Challenge, which they did kind of a dry run for, even though it's in the water, which they were going to do all weekend. Did I? Sorry. Sorry, Kyle. My apologies. It threw me off.
sorry. I
What's
love
that all
Kyle
about?
coming in with the editor comment.
Did I not say? Sorry, I just said pull it up. I guess. My bad. My apologies.
Sorry,
for not
Tony.
being
Didn't mean to
civil
throw your,
and
didn't mean to
civil,
throw a
right.
wrench in the train of
But
thought.
they do a Florida Man Challenge over the weekend where they had their vlogging team in a
All right, I'm now seeing random.
in a boat that had holes in it, and they had to race in these boats around like a little island as the boats are sinking in gator infested waters while everybody's chucking hot dogs at them. There's also
Wait.
a team.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Slow down. They're in a boat that is sinking,
Mhm.
paddling in gator-infested waters.
Yep.
And what's the role of the hot dog?
The viewers are throwing hot dogs at them. They have little buckets on their hat to try and catch them too.
Okay.
Well, I thought you meant they were throwing hot dogs at the gators.
They could throw them, yeah, if it tempted them. But so here in the video, I kind of zoomed in on these guys because they were actually throwing them chickens, which I felt like was satiating the gators before the humans got in the water.
Do these guys not
Wow.
realize there's no fence between them and the gators?
Right, which you'll see in a minute because this guy kind of turns to the side and the other one lunges a little, and I got nervous for him. which is, I guess, the fun of Gatorland, because that's kind of what happened last time.
Mike's dream attraction right here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, here they go. Here they go racing, and you'll see little splashes by them because people are throwing hot dogs. And this is
these are
before the
guests on the
storms really picked up. No, this is their social media team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They only did it this weekend, they said. Yeah, see. At a certain point, too, as the boat gets near, one of the gators goes like at the boat. And if you had the audio up, I'm not saying turn it up, but if you had the audio up, you would hear the crowd go, oh, and like panic a little. Yeah, there you
Whoa.
go. Yeah,
Whoa.
see? Yeah.
This is a
Okay.
very different type of entertainment than you get at
Yeah.
Walt Disney.
And I agree with Kyle's comment that he just said, would Gideon get in this canoe and start rowing?
No. Nor would his dad let him.
Yeah, so they go around, and this video continues a little bit, but they surprised me because I thought they were going to be done in like a horseshoe style. They go under a very narrow bridge where there's also gators hanging out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
gators asked
Yeah,
them
see?
3 riddles.
There you go.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Yeah, gators ask them 3 in order to get through. Yep, 3 questions. What is your name? What is your favorite color?
So I saw Tony was originally scheduled. I'm sorry, Jeremiah was originally scheduled for this, and he went to Paris, and you went to Gatorland.
But yeah, so there was
Funny juxtaposition.
expected juxtaposition, but I guess funny nonetheless. But that Instagram video was after the storms really picked up, and they kind of basically said, what we have planned now we can't really do. So go home. And on my way out, that was happening in that Instagram video. And so the way it is, if you've never been to Gatorland, everything, especially in the front part of the park, is kind of lifted above the water, and you're on like boardwalks and little islands with huts, and everything's kind of swimming around and under you. If you go back to that video, you don't have to put the audio on though this time. You'll see that the platforms the gators are on are actually starting to submerge.
Mm-hmm.
And this came up when we were talking about, they did an opening ceremony, which is also on YouTube, about the 75th. And they talk about everything that Gatorland has withstood over 75 years, including the recent Hurricane Ian, where Gatorland flooded and they had to have their team come in and contain the gators because they would have been out down OBT, Orange Blossom Trail, one of the main thoroughfares here in Central Florida.
As if there aren't gators there already. It's Florida.
Okay, but more. There's in this shot alone, there's like 10. But you could see their platforms already kind of starting going under the water. So I was getting a little nervous, even though I'm still a good foot. But if you keep the video on, they're also under me. So that growling is coming from those two, and then it starts happening under me. And there's a very popular video game online, and I know Mike plays it too, called Red Dead Redemption, where if you're in the Bayou parts of the video game, gators will sneak up on you and growl and attack you. So even though I knew I was completely safe, all I heard was the growling underneath me, and I got terrified.
My favorite part of this, Mike, is that first comment. Are these real or animatronic? It just brought back such memories.
Yep. They also make me think of a certain scene in Jurassic Park too, but
wow.
All right, folks.
Man,
What did I miss?
I need to reach out to the other vloggers who were at this and see if I can find footage of Tony taking that footage, because that's what I want to see.
Where I was, there was about 6 people.
Yeah.
And I think all of it's going to be on the gators. But yeah.
Oh, Alexander.
All of them too said they'd never seen it happen like that.
That's
Hey,
cool.
Alexander, thanks for stopping by.
Lightning was striking not too far, like you could see it, and we were wondering if they felt something in the water, because it did hit some of the water area. But yeah, it was crazy.
Cool. Anything
You
else?
like
about
that
the
lightning
adventure?
strike, don't you, Doobie?
I'm fine with lightning. I'm good with lightning.
We'll edit this later and have him fly by.
I have fallen for that so many times. It is
He fell
so
for it
embarrassing.
again.
I have laughed literally every time it's gotten me.
He fell for it again last week. I get a text really late at night when I was down in Orange County. I fell for it again.
It's this pilot I follow on TikTok, and she's like, people always ask me if I ever had encountered any dangerous situations, and we're lucky we caught this one on video, but not too long ago, my plane got struck by lightning, and I'm all watching, waiting for it, and then ka-chow.
I've seen it before because in Central Florida, lightning's pervasive, right? Like
Yes.
I think we're the capital of the world for lightning, and it was like lightning strikes Orlando Eye. Good chow. Ah,
So I'm not alone. I'm not alone in falling.
maybe not as frequently. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 times. I definitely, aside from just now, don't tell people about it.
I think he's up to 4,
Okay.
Maybe
more, but I know he's at
more.
least up to 4.
Anybody got anything they want to mention before we say goodbye? Bid adieu.
Friday, I'll be at the park.
Yay!
That is that's excellent news. I thought we were just excited for Friday.
Friday. Are you going to sing for us?
Big return of something.
I think we could talk about it. The date's revealed.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I have been way out of the loop because of life. Do we know what the dragon replacement is going to be? No? This is
As
exciting.
Mickey Mouse says, Friday!
So
I've
this
heard
is actually exciting.
Speculated, like you could put a warning down. Speculation alert. I have heard everything from it'll just be what the show's B mode was, which is Maleficent just on the tower. I've heard drones. I've heard a giant projection.
Have you heard a giant inflatable figment?
So this is wildly off topic, and I think Mike, we talked about this. It's just, is it weird that they sell Figment stuff at Disneyland?
Do they? Oh,
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
I know I can get pins if I trade for them, but
like Figment and Orangebird stuff. I feel like why
Orange Bird, yeah, I see all the
I've
time.
seen Orangebird. I haven't seen Figment. But yeah.
Okay. I guess nothing else.
Okay.
Tony, you got anything?
No.
Anything you want to say, Jeremiah?
Enjoy the flight.
He landed. He landed a few minutes ago. He landed during this broadcast.
All right. We will be back at some point. Rebecca and I are off to Paris for the first time, going to Disneyland Paris. We're extremely
I'm
excited.
so excited, you guys.
Is it anniversary honeymoon, or is the kid coming?
The kid's coming.
And
Okay.
more.
And more. It's quite
We're
the
part
family
of
gathering.
we're part of a party, so I'm excited to visit Disneyland Paris for the first time, and
Moi aussi.
unfortunately, Storybook Land is closed, which that's one of my favorite attractions. I was very interested to experience its difference there because it is very different in like ride system ways.
Is Casey Jr. open?
No.
Okay.
And then, but however, the Big Thunder Mountain is just coming back from a recent refurbishment.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So I'm happy. I'm happy about that, and just hopeful that there's no hiccups, because that's like the bucket list thing of anytime, right? Anytime you talk about Disneyland Paris, it's like Phantom Manor, Big Thunder Mountain, the castle.
Pirates. No, Pirates is awesome too.
Yeah, Pirates looks crazy out there.
If you're anything like me, you'll do everything once and then hang out the rest of the time in Frontierland and Adventureland. It's called Adventureland? Adventure Isle? What is it? Something like that.
I'm exactly like you, so I'm sure I will.
Okay.
I think Doobie would be like that. I don't think they still have the canoes in Paris, so I haven't looked.
Everything you just listed. What's the IP attached to them? Good night, everybody.
Wait. Oh, Gideon's coming in to tell me there's no canoes.
Oh. All right. One other tip. LA Flights, which usually live streams LAX, sometimes SFO, they're up in Anchorage today. 747 does not fly passengers anymore, so it's hard to see 747s on streams, but Anchorage is almost all cargo airplanes, so you can just see 747 after 747 after 747. So if you want to see some 747s taking off and landing, go to the LA Flights YouTube channel. They're up in Anchorage, and have a great time, and you're welcome. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
Anybody else have a hankering to watch Executive Decision?